Hi there, and welcome to Aria's Universe. I'm Aria, and if you haven't seen me before, welcome, and if you have, welcome back. So, today we are covering week 4 of The Artist's Way, and it's all about recovering a sense of integrity. So, this week was definitely better. Definitely less miffed at the morning pages, definitely more than happy to take myself out on a little artist date. So I'm definitely interested in saying the word definitely. And also, I'm making an improvement, which is great. Like, there's a breakthrough. Woohoo! So, we're going to go through some of these things in this book that I found really interesting in this chapter, and I hope that it all resonates. And I hope that you're following along and getting just as much of a great use out of this book as I am, because I think it's going to be a life changer. And that's talking to me, my future self, Aria. This is going to be a life changer. And then hopefully for you guys, what do I call you guys? You need a name. What name should I know. How about, okay, so I think everyone's a star. So starlings. Yes, that's cute. That's really cute. Starlings, because you're stars and you're darlings. That's wonderful. So starlings. I hope that you starlings are able to really get something out of this. So let's go. So the first thing that Julia says that I have highlighted that really stuck out to me is, as we clarify our perceptions, we lose our misconceptions. As we eliminate ambiguity, we lose illusion as well. We arrive at clarity, and clarity creates change. Wow. So that is really great for me in terms of when I first read that, I thought that's wonderful because I've been feeling like I've been getting more clarity in my morning pages because sometimes as creatives, even being someone that's like a multi hyphenate, you find yourself drawn to so many different things. Like I've always been like, okay, yeah, I've been always drawn more to the songwriting side of things and the singing side of things and the acting and the movies. So basically, movies, music, TV, even a little bit of that kind of like marketing and digital thing, a little bit. And so I never really fully explored things that had to do more with like painting and acrylics and things like that. I've always thought, what if, what if I was going to be an amazing like artist with paint, an amazing painter and things like that. But it's like, hold on, slow your roll. Let's clarify. Let's clarify the things that we really love versus things that we're like, okay, I'll explore that later. And when you clarify, then you're able to create that change in your life. Instead of trying to go and do a little bit of everything, you're able to focus on these few things. And with those few things, go forth and make a change. So that was absolutely great. That's what I got from it. And then she talks about another thing, which I was like, yep, I already do this. Until we experience the freedom of solitude, we cannot connect authentically. We may be enmeshed, but we are not encountered. So basically, as artists, we all need our time of solitude. We all need a time of reflection without outside forces knocking on doors, peeking through windows. We need to be able to just be alone and chill in solitude. And from that comes forth the creative juices that are needed. From that, we're able to replenish ourselves. Basically, I guess solitude is almost like, when you're on the verge in Final Fantasy, you give yourself like a phoenix down, or you give yourself a potion. So I guess solitudes are basically little potions. So that I already do. I'm perfectly, you know, fine with that. That's something that I don't have any resistance to that at all. And hopefully, with these starlings, if you do have resistance with that, that you take the time to get the solitude that you need in order to go forth and create. So, the next thing that really stuck out to me is this really great quote. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. So I was like, that's it. That's that. You got it. You got it. It's definitely that when you kind of push through and go ahead and do something, then you find that, it's not as easy. I mean, it's not as hard as I thought it would be. It's something that's relatively easy, actually. And even if you find that it's a bit hard while you're doing it, taking it that moment at a time, you find that it's bearable. And then once you're finally finished creating something, you're like, it wasn't as hard as I thought. Why was I, psyching myself up and stressing myself out to the buildup of doing this creative action when I could have done it a long time ago? Like, I kind of kick myself a little bit now when I think about, oh, why has it taken me so long to, post more on YouTube? I mean, of course I've posted things where I haven't shown my face, but I'm like, come on, let's let's push yourself out there a little bit. Why is it taking so long? And I find that now that I'm doing it more often, it's become, I wouldn't say super duper easy, because I still find myself, I'm staring into a camera, though it helps when I'm feel like I'm connecting with my future self and also connecting with starlings. That really helps, but it's getting easier, and I'm glad that I'm doing this now, and I'm glad that I've taken time to really go forth and commit myself to it. All right, so this chapter and this week there was an exercise called Buried Dreams, which is really great, where you list your hobbies that sound fun, your classes that sound fun, 5 things you enjoy doing, 5 silly things that you would like to try once. And really, what this is all about is making it so there's a common denominator between all of these things. Like, for example, for me, I've always been really into archery, even before the whole Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen thing. For me, it was more, what was that show? Escaflowne, with the one character that did archery. Like, that was when I was like, yes, that, I want to do that. Like, way back then when I saw that when I was, I don't know, 7 or something. So I've always been into archery. I've always been into learning about like fencing. I've always been into, exploring even more with music, dancing, even though I have 2 left feet. But I have a sense of rhythm, just 2 left feet. It's more like I tell my brain to do it, and my body does something completely different. Ugh. But anyway, 5 skills that would be fun to have, 5 things you enjoy doing, 5 things you personally would never do, but also sound fun. For me, that's like going out and, I don't know, because I would bungee jump. That's the thing. I would bungee jump. There aren't that many things that I would never do that sound fun. It's kind of like, for me, if it sounds fun, at some point I'm going to try to do it. Anyway, so that was really a great exercise. And then another quote that really stood out is that it is a paradox that by emptying our lives of distractions, we are actually filling the well. Without distractions, we are once again thrust into the sensory world. With no newspaper to shield us, a train becomes a viewing gallery. So I really like that, because there's so many different distractions in the world. There's the news, and then you walk outside and there's like all these different things that are vying for our attention, when really we need to just sit back and get deep within ourselves, really take that time to reflect. And when we reflect, then we're able to look back out. But when we're constantly distracted, nah, that's not something that's great to do. So yeah, the reading deprivation thing. I did not read. It was harder than I thought. But I did listen to music. I when I was listening to and watching Dochi, she said, "Oh, I didn't. I ended up not only not reading, but also not listening to music and then not doing social media as well." So for me, I didn't read, but I was like, I need my music. And then near the end, I think the last day was when I was like, I need to read something. But besides that, listening to music is really what helped me kind of get through it, you know, and that is something that has also helped me through all of this. Doing my morning pages, the first thing I do is when I'm doing my morning pages is get out a playlist. Listen to something calming, listen to something, well, sometimes calming and sometimes things that's just going to get my day started, that's going to bring me joy. So that's what I've been doing. So I've done the different tasks. They were pretty interesting, describing my ideal environment, the town, country, and then also going through and doing the time travel thing. That was really cool. I actually have a journal from when I was around that age, from when I was like 8 years old. And it's so funny how things echo back, that the things that I wrote in my journal that I wanted to do when I was 8 are things that have only like expanded and I've become even more passionate about. So that was really, really great. And also, the Imagine Yourself at 80, that was cool too. I didn't do that one, but I did the one where I remember myself at 8 and what would I tell myself. And I also opened my closet and I'm getting ready to put some things on Poshmark, get rid of some things, donate some things to kind of clear that space a little bit. So it's all been good for this week. So far, smooth sailing. I mean, there was that little bumpy road last week, but I'm getting through it. Future me, I'm getting through it. Starlings, I hope you are getting through it. And I am so happy to be sharing this book with you. I hope you get something from it. I am going to continue to create these, and next week is going to be week 5, recovering a sense of possibility. So let me read that for you, give you a little sneak peek. This week, you are being asked to examine your payoffs and remaining stuck. Ooh, there aren't really any payoffs there. You will explore how you curtail your own possibilities by placing limits on the good you can receive. You will examine the cost of settling for appearing good instead of being authentic. You may find yourself thinking about radical changes, no longer ruling out your growth by making others the cause of your constriction. Ooh, I'm excited for what's to come. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, yeah, all right, I'm excited. I'm pumped. All right, so with that, I will bid you a see you soon, starlings, and have a great day, night, or whatever time it is in your neighborhood. Bye.